Good afternoon, and welcome to the Wednesday afternoon conference call with Trusts Unlimited. For some reason, I'm having all kinds of trouble on my end. I guess it's because it's April Fool's Day, I don't know, but I'm going to proceed, and someone just texted me, kind enough to tell me that I'm being heard, thank God. So let's continue with the call because there's a lot to discuss today, although I'm going to move quickly for the reason that everyone that's been paying close attention knows that real progress is being made in the Middle East, particularly where Iraq and Iran are concerned. And so a lot of individuals who have established our trust product have contacted me with some last-minute questions, and a lot of individuals have contacted us requesting our trust package. It's quite a large number of people, so I want to let you know that after this call, I'll be working hard on the phone until I contact each and every one of you, either by phone or email to address whatever concern you might have. So let's go ahead and get started. Over the years, we've been told ad nauseum that in order for the reinstitution and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, the nation-state of Iraq must achieve security and stability. And the primary obstacle to that security and stability, as I'm sure you all well know, has been Iraq. There's a lot of issues going on in the Middle East beyond just the reinstitution of the Iraqi dinar, one country within that Middle East region, especially with Iran. Iran is a special case. It's the worst neighbor any nation state can have. Iran's got a problem with everyone: religion, race, trade, technology, you name it. Iran's got a problem with it. One of the problems, for example, Iran has with Iraq and other neighboring nations, even though they're Islamic, is that Iran is Farsi for Aryan. So they view themselves somehow as a superior race over the Arab and black Muslims in the area. But Iran has other problems as well. It's a very mountainous country, which is difficult to traverse, which can be difficult to travel and live in. First, it's a country like Iraq that's situated in the Tigris-Euphrates River Delta, meaning that Iraq is extremely wealthy in terms of natural resources. In fact, an argument can be made that per square mile, Iraq could be one of the richest, if not the richest countries in the world, and Iran just for some reason cannot abide that. But those of us that have purchased Iraqi dinar and some other currencies, but primarily Iraqi dinar, we're hoping that the dinar would reinstitute and revalue a lot sooner than it did. Now, it's true that a lot of the dysfunction within the country of Iraq has been a problem, but Iran, of every problem that exists, if we could only eliminate one of them, it would have to be Iran. And that's what President Trump finally decided needed to be done. And so he began several weeks ago Epic Fury. He wants to end 47 years of Iranian hegemony over the area. Not only because of the problems it's created in the country, but because it has prohibited Iraq to finalize the reinstitution and revaluation of its currency because of all the chaos created. So what's occurred thus far with Epic Fury has been really something to behold on television. Iran's Navy is at the bottom of the sea. Iran's Air Force is basically grounded. Iran's missile system has been destroyed not only by the United States, but by the incoming missiles in Israel. Their launchers are gone. Many of the Iranian militia in Iraq have been expelled. But most importantly, the entire leadership of Iran, and these are radical 12th Imam Shia. If you want to understand just how radical they are, when you get a chance, Google 12th Imamers. I think it borders on psychotic myself. But the Trump administration has taken out 4 generations of their leaders. So he took out their varsity, he took out their JV, he took out the water boys, he took out the cheerleaders. They're all gone. And the other thing he did, his first salvo, was he took out their entire nuclear program. So 47 years of Iran's military buildup was literally gone in a matter of weeks. But let's deal with some of the pro-Iranian issues that we have in Iraq, because that's been a second impediment to the reinstitution of the dinar. We had the pro-Iranian factions within the parliament, and we had al-Maliki, the prime minister of Iraq, who was also pro-Iranian Shia, and he was an impediment. President Trump came along and said, if Prime Minister Maliki is not removed from office, the United States will no longer protect Iraq from Iran or any other threatening nation, and we will let you fend for yourself. Well, the result is that Maliki is now gone, and Soudani is now the prime minister. So everything is pretty much in place. We now see agreements between Erbil and Baghdad, inclusive of Article 140. We see passage of the 2026 budget near passage of the 2026 budget and the HCL, which allows the revenue sharing to all of the provinces proportionally. So more has been accomplished to remove the logjam in Iraq in the last, let's say 30 days, than has been accomplished in the prior 15 years. So we're in a very good place now. We see momentum in Iraq. And the other issue is the United States holds literally, the last estimate that I heard was we held 4 trillion Iraqi dinar. I suspect that President Trump has substantially increased that, and he's going after the Federal Reserve and the entire system as it has existed for 100 years. So things may not seem to be moving radically, but behind the scenes, what's occurred in the last, I would say, 30 days is literally historic, and things are going to, now that the logjam in the Middle East has been dealt with, and now that some of the problems in the United States have been exposed and are being dealt with, I think things are going to start to move quickly. I'm moving quickly through this call for the simple reason that my texts, my emails from individuals who have questions about their existing trusts or want to establish a trust is well over 100 individuals. So I have to get back to these people. So this is why I've moved as quickly as I have. I'm very quickly going to discuss our trust package and why it would behoove you to contact us to get our initial package, because we will be able to explain to you why it's critical that this package is established prior to the reinstitution and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Or in a general sense, if anyone possesses an asset that they think is going to increase substantially in value over a very short period of time, it would behoove them to take that asset out of personal title and place it in a protective trust package prior to that increase in value. So the benefits of our package, if you're kind enough to contact us, say, please send us your package. We will send you the package. It has a lot of information about us, about the trust, how it works, why you want to set it up, etc. But I want to very, very briefly touch on the benefits of establishing this package. By doing so, you will preserve your privacy and your anonymity. Now, there are other entities people can establish to provide some level of protection. Revocable trusts, LLCs, sub-S corporations, limited family partnerships, etc., but none of them provide the privacy, anonymity, and asset protection available through our trust package. This trust package will also allow you to avoid IRS scrutiny for the simple reason that this trust is a complex trust. You have sound legal advisors to assist you in the event that the IRS were to get involved. And the IRS tends to go after low-hanging fruit. They understand when they see a very complex trust package that it was established by individuals for the right reasons, and they tend to move on. The other issue is taxes. Many of the individuals that establish our trust have gifted currencies to family and friends, but some of them are concerned that these individuals, for any number of reasons, may not be able to manage properly the proceeds from the reinstitution and revaluation of the dinar and some of these other currencies. So they gift the currencies to these individuals through the trust so that they can manage those assets. This is because we have established as one of the sub-trusts in our package a special gifting sub-trust, which allows you to gift pre-RV currencies to family and friends and gives you the discretion to manage those assets as well. Another reason, of course, that you want to transfer these assets to the trust pre-RV is because you've substantially reduced any transfer tax that would be payable for transferring an asset from title to this trust package. The other advantage of this trust, of course, it allows you to avoid the cost delay of probate and the federal estate tax. The federal estate tax is the tax that's assessed on the transfer of an asset through the probate process. But because you have established this trust and you've named beneficiaries, your assets within this trust bypass probate and bypass the federal estate tax. The federal estate tax can be even more than half of your entire estate. So you're going to be able to transfer privately and immediately 100 cents on a dollar of your estate to your named heirs. And of course, the asset protection available is the best available. One of the tools that they use also is something called segregation of assets, meaning that the assets are in trust, but they are all in a separate sub-trust within the package. So, for example, homes, cars, boats, etc. Each asset is in its own separate sub-trust, making it virtually impossible for anyone to mount any substantial lawsuit against you, because if they have a problem with a rental property or a car accident or something, only that one asset would be involved in any litigation, because the other assets are in separate sub-trusts, which under the law are separate legal entities, which means they would not be involved in any litigation. Now, our trust package is initially a package of 10 trusts consisting of one master trust that will hold financial assets, the optional gift sub-trust if you wish to gift currencies to family and friends, and 8 additional sub-trusts to hold physical assets, again, like homes, cars, and boats. And individuals can add additional sub-trusts to hold assets as they need them. Now, this trust package has an initial cost of $2,550, which is as compared to the risk involved in not establishing this trust, pennies on the dollar. In addition, we do have a deferred payment arrangement for individuals that do not have the $2,550 up front. So we've done everything possible to make this trust package available to anyone who possesses currencies. Now, we can be contacted by phone or email if you'd like to get our initial trust package. Our email address is trusts with an S, unlimited LLC @gmail.com. That's trusts with an S, unlimited LLC @gmail.com. And our phone service is 605-313-5163. That's 605-313-5163. There is one other number. I was talking with our attorney, Robert Bly, and we've been going back and forth with numbers. So I'm going to give you another phone number in case this is not the correct number. That number is 307-274-4122. I believe the first number I gave you is the correct number, but in case that's the incorrect number, I'd suggest you call the second number I gave you. Now, we're not going to go to a Q&A today again because there are a number of people that I need to contact, some of which want to set up a trust, and we're close enough here that I want to make sure that everyone that is wishing to establish their pre-RV asset protection trust can do so in a timely fashion. But just to reiterate very succinctly what I've said before, the security and stability that we've all been looking for in Iraq, we're on the threshold of achieving. And once that's done, I think the reinstitution and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is going to occur quickly. And I think that the Trump administration is going to make sure that this occurs. Now, this is just my opinion, but I really believe that the Trump administration wants this all done and in the bank before the midterms, because this, of course, will be something that they can point to as justification for allowing them to have control of both the House and Senate. So if the political winds are in our favor, that's good as well. But I want to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to this call. Our next call is scheduled for next Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Certainly, if something of a dramatic nature were to happen between now and then, we'll try to get out an emergency call. But failing that, we'll be back next Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks so much for listening. This is all very, very good news, and those of us that have currencies for a number of years should be very excited because, in my opinion, we're on the threshold of this thing finally culminating. And lastly, I would strongly suggest those of you that have currencies contact us to get our initial no-obligation package. It does contain everything you need if you wish to proceed, but you're under no obligation to do so. You can review the package, contact us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to assist you in every way. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Have a great week. God bless.